Good morning, or actually, good afternoon, fam. I hope everybody's okay. I'm gonna heat up my Palo Santo. Just a second. That's better. Okay, so just need to take a minute. Been getting a lot of downloads today. Some of them are from me, some of them are from other people. I'm gonna leave the ones that are for me between myself and the Most High, as I should, because certain people don't need to know that I'm aware of what they're up to. Um, etc. Whoever's gonna see this video, I hope that the message helps you. In the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, errantly called Jesus Christ, I block and bind any deceptive, distracting, unclean, negative, or wicked entities who may be in my energy, in the immediate environment, any monitoring spirits that have no business being here. I block you and I bind you in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. And you are to return to your sender and rest upon the sender's head. And Father God, if doing so will harm an innocent, I ask that you instead break all of those energies up into their smallest possible elements and cast them into the ether, never to be gathered up again to harm any other entity. Please help me to deliver accurate messages, to bring guidance and healing that will lead whoever needs to hear the messaging to their highest good. Inshallah, say I'm closer to your light, Father God. Thank you for providing for us another day, despite all efforts by people to knock us down and destroy us. You are faithful. The glory and honor is yours. Thank you. Amen. So, these don't have special powers, they're cards. They're like signposts on the highway when you're driving, telling you what's beside you, what's in front of you, what's behind you, maybe which direction you should turn in, if there's a certain direction you want to take your life or yourself in. Okay? You control your destiny. You have free agency. No one can tell you your future but you. Every second of every day, we make a decision what to feed and what to starve. We make a decision what to follow and what not to follow, what to put our faith in and what to not put our faith in. Each of us as an individual makes that decision. Those decisions can easily change the trajectory of any reading. These are only for guidance. Your decisions are up to you. If you have financial issues, legal issues, medical issues, anything of a sensitive nature, you should reach out to a licensed professional for advice and assistance with those issues. You should not be going to a tarot reader for that. You are responsible for your own choices. This is for entertainment purposes only. All right. And let's see, let's get to it. I'm guided to do a cartomancy, which has a lot of numerology in it. I'm sure that there's people much better at numerology than I am. This is a collective reading. That means it's for whatever group sees or whatever person sees it. At whatever time they see it, there may be a message for them that might be helpful to them. If it doesn't apply to you, then it isn't for you. You can just leave it. May not apply to you today, maybe a week from now or a month from now, you'll say, wait a minute. And then you'll realize it may not apply at all. I do better at one on one, in person, face to face meeting, or if I have an article that's the person wore article clothing or jewelry, something they wore close to them. I'm better. I have difficulty with this get my energy online. I think there's too many monitoring people, monitoring technologies and spirits. I I'd rather have the person in front of me be able to touch them or something that belongs to them. That's just me. I'm getting in my head synchronicity, sound of synchronicity, both of them, one and two. I'm getting the first one. Da 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 da. Synchronicity, synchronicity. If you act as you think, the missing link, synchronicity. What I'm getting. I don't know why, but I am. I do not usually use oracle cards because I usually use the regular Rider-Waite tarot or some derivative thereof. And in the Rider-Waite tarot or any tarot deck, there are usually already oracle cards called major arcana. However, this is a cartomancy reading. The regular deck of playing cards does not really have, as people, fates messages and everything, but it doesn't have oracles. Okay, so I'm using angel messaging because this it has a lot to do with numerology. Ooh-cha. Okay, I look for the overall energy. Okay, Father God, angels, Hashalasea Amalashi, Okalashia Lamso. Number 23. I am adventurous. You have a zest for life, and you are eager to experience anything and everything possible. You love change and excitement and need both to feel truly alive. For you, life is an adventure to be lived to the fullest. I'm adventurous. Number 23 or 5. Also 5. Okay. So that is the number closest to your heart. All right. Actually, I'm going to put it here because that's where you would see it if you were, well, this is where you would see it if you were across from me. Your left, your heart, which is my right. Okay. What other? Inshallah say amala shokala say shalom. Intela kiana hashe. I don't care if people scoff at me. I don't care if they're non-believers. I don't care what they have to say. Amala shea ala yan masa. Get out of my energy. If you don't believe in this sort of thing, you can scroll right past. You don't have to watch it. And if you're watching to mock it, the Holy Spirit is not mocked. You'll find that out. Donovan, be quiet, please. I am doing a reading. Please close your door. Thank you. Is your door closed? Mm-hmm. We have number 33. I'm expanding. Any positive changes or projects you are considering right now will be worth your while. Expect that your power to manifest and create will be heightened. I am expanding. Okay. Energy is one of expansion. If you're adventurous, that means you're a risk taker. You may be taking risks or investing in something that maybe on the surface do not make any sense at all, or might even be considered so risky as to be crazy. But Spirit is telling you that you're being guided in the right direction and that what you're manifesting is going to expand into something bigger than what you initially perhaps thought. There's growth here. Trust your intuition and trust the Most High and that His angels are with you. What is the subject? They're telling me to take the black one, the cheaters. I call this, well, I call this the cheat sheet deck because it has all the little correspondences, all the planetary correspondences, and all this good stuff. This is the Black Gold Tower deck. It is for people who are trying to learn. It's a pretty good resource. I like it because sometimes I forget some of the astrological stuff, and I don't mean the sun signs. I mean other things like the planetary uh energy of the stuff that's in the card. So it helps me. Um, this is a pretty new. I don't use it that often, so it's hard for me to shuffle. I'm sorry. I apologize. Okay, what is this about? What is the overall topic concern of this reading? Om Shalasea Alayana Shakamayadasea. I cannot take all three, please. Mercy. One card. I don't know who this is for. Mm, this one flips. I will take it. Your home life. We have the four, the Rider Waite's four of the Rider Waite's four wands, representing stability, home life, building a family, a happy family, or just beginning to build it. Be ready for every opportunity that you have worked for. So what this is, I don't know if this is a career reading. I'm assuming it's a career reading, or maybe it's not necessarily career. It could just be a goal you have for yourself, right? So this is saying that you've worked hard, you've taken risks, you've done things that were maybe outside the box or considered really, really like not a good business decision, or what people thought, oh, you're crazy to lay all that money and invest in this, or you're crazy to do all this work, with no return. Spirit is saying that all that hard work is about to pay off. Doors are going to be open to you, opportunities are going to be offered to you, and you're going to see an expansion on what you started to build. Okay? Your your perseverance and your hard work and your investment and all the heart and soul that you put into this goal is about to come to fruition. Now, this looks very much like a career reading, but I'm noticing there are no pentacles, there are wands. I'm noticing that we move from a 23 to a 33, which is from a 5 to a 6. So you move from 5, which is a period of transition or conflict. Conflict is always part of transition, right? So there was a lot of change, there was a lot of transition, there was a lot of maybe arguing, maybe getting rid of things that don't serve you and gaining things that do, maybe breaking apart from people who are not in your best interest. You know, a lot of change, right? Which can be hard sometimes. And the result is that you're at the number 6, you've upped. right? You've moved up, you're expanding, you're growing. So it could be something as simple as a goal to lose weight, which would make you happier in your relationship or make you just feel more comfortable and less self-conscious around the people you love and more comfortable sitting on your chair because you could get up easier or whatever it is. It could be a career goal. It could be a creative project that you're working on. It could be anything, but it's telling you that your risks that you've taken, your work is paying off. Opportunities are going to be made available to you that are going to allow you to further expand on what you started. Okay, thank you. They're telling me to go for the gold one first. All right. So, what is your present or your most recent past situation? Your most recent past situation with regard to this topic? If somebody really wants to build a happier home life, a more harmonious home life with their partner, or maybe there has been a situation with your family where maybe you were estranged or you were in conflict with family members over something. Maybe there was a death in the family and there was fighting, or maybe you had a young adult who who left and there was angry words said, or maybe there's a disagreement with your spouse or your siblings or hardship in a marriage and you're working to overcome it, or in a relationship you're working to overcome it. And maybe you used or you decided to use a certain way of handling it that maybe other people didn't agree with or understand, or they thought was unconventional. You know, you stuck your neck out for somebody who maybe people told you it's not worth doing that for because you had conflict or past problems with them. Maybe someone deeply hurt you and you stuck your neck out and took a chance to forgive when, by all other counts, it was considered foolish, but you were willing to take that risk because you want to have that stability, and then opportunities to repair that are also being offered. And then to build, to have a stronger foundation with that person. That's what I'm getting. Anshallah Salem. So if that's been a question in your mind, was forgiving this person the right thing? Or should I go meet with that family member over coffee? Or should I just not go? Um, was it worth helping that person even though they didn't appreciate it? Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Because maybe you didn't do it for them. You did that for you because of who you are and who the Most High calls you to be. And doing that has caused growth, spiritual or financial or otherwise, in you that is going to lead you to have a more peace, a more prosperous, more happier situation. So if it's been a home situation or a family situation, is that we have the seven of spades. Okay. This is in your recent past. It might be someone in recovery from alcohol specifically. There might be a lot of gossip surrounding a person who maybe had an alcohol problem. Or maybe someone's accused of having an alcohol or drug problem by a lot of nosy people who are maybe slandering their name. A lot of concerns, a lot of talk. Was there maybe an intervention and at first you didn't think it went well? And you've been doing that to have a better situation? Was there maybe a performing artist who was told to get back on the wagon? I don't know. These are all things coming to me. You have the Two of Clubs, which in Cartomancy is one of the luckiest, if not the luckiest card. They don't like me to popcorn shuffle. I don't know why. My Unshala Sarakana Halakiana Sea, Omalakiana Hasa. Okay. They don't like me to popcorn. Anshalakiana Hasa. Anshasama. They're telling me two more times. Donovan. Donovan Patrick. I asked you to respect that I am doing a reading and to keep it down and close your door. Please do that. Thank you. Okay. You don't want me to popcorn, but you're not giving me the card. Hallelujah, Saya, Hamalashea, Inkiliyana, Hamasea. Father God, the card. They're saying take it from the middle, the very middle. All right. We have the Ace of Clubs. Hmm. So we have three. So the answer is probably going to be a no. Let me see. You don't want me to popcorn, but you're not giving me the card, Spirit. They're saying shuffle. Okay. Halakiana, Hosolakiana. Ooh, there go the last two. Eight of Diamonds and the King of Spades. Ooh, cha cha. Let's take a look. If you had a question in your heart, a yes or no question concerning your most recent past experience, then what happened with that is the answer is no. If you had a question in your heart about your most recent past situation, a yes or no question, the answer is no. I want to take a look at the first the seven of spades, only because I know I need to trust my intuition more, but I just want to just double check it. Yeah, it represents a lie. The need to be more adventurous, more free spirited. Maybe you weren't as free spirited or adventurous as before, and you decided to be, and people began to speak ill of you or say all kinds of stuff. But there's hidden truths or lies, challenges, obstacles, false friends. Maybe there's been people who see you trying to do something for yourself and they're afraid of being left behind, or they're jealous, or they're actually frenemies and they've been advising you, telling you things that really are not in your best interest, and you've been maybe trusting them. Perhaps you shouldn't. Um, yeah, deception, restriction. It's not good. This is also the card for heavy drinking alcohol. Okay. Did somebody disclose something? Did someone get drunk and disclose a truth that they were hiding once they lowered their inhibition? That's possible. Let's take a look at our correspondences. In cartomancy, it gets very intricate, the correspondences between cards. They're more powerful than anything. There are no reversals, there's only canceling out of certain elements or energies, or show which one has more influence over the card next to it. Okay. A loss of a friend, mm, a quarrel, an argument. You made an attempt with no guaranteed success. That speaks to the risk and the adventurous spirit that they're talking about. Let's take a look. Something disappointed you. Yeah. There's some kind of a argument, a untruth, a deception. And I see drinking. I see drinking. So let's take a look. The Two of Clubs is a good card. It's my favorite, one of my favorite ones. Minor arguments, the need for clear communication to avoid conflict, contradictions, hesitation before taking a decision. No matter how long you think or you wait, you'll never be 100% certain if what you did was the right thing. You've needed to take a leap of faith, which is what I was talking about earlier with maybe there was a family member that you had an issue with and you were not sure. Or maybe there was a secret that you knew about but that you couldn't share and you were watching something unfold and it was difficult. Maybe you heard that something was going on and you um took action or you judged somebody or you treated somebody a certain kind of way. Now you're learning that maybe there's more to the story and that maybe what was presented to you about that other person was not true and you're feeling bad about it and you're not sure how to fix it. Maybe you're the person on the receiving end of that, where someone you thought was a friend heard some stuff about you that wasn't true, right? And treated you a certain kind of way, judged you, mistreated you, cut you off, refused to help you when you were in need or something. And now they're finding out that they were lied to and that the source was somebody who was high, drunk, unwell, whose perception was off. And they are realizing that they misjudged you, or you were misjudged, and they're realizing that they misjudged you, and they want forgiveness. They want to reach out to you. Okay. You had to maybe take a leap of faith. They had to take a leap of faith to come to you and tell you honestly that they were sorry and tell you what happened and what were some of the horrible things said about you. And maybe you have had to take a leap of faith as to whether you want to forgive them because maybe your feeling is, how could you even listen to that in the first place? Why didn't you come to me to begin with? Maybe they'll confess to you while drinking. Harsh words will be spoken and it'll come out what they said, and then it'll be revealed in that argument, in that moment, that there was a deception. Then to the Ace of clubs. Ace of clubs usually, um, two of clubs is usually a good card where I come from. It's not a negative card all the time. I'm sorry. There's a new beginning, a surge of creativity, prosperity, the power to achieve your goals. hmm It also represents a large purse of money. This represents money coming in, ideas, creativity that result in money. So, whatever this betrayal, this hurt, this argument was, the person it was about continued to, despite all of it, move forward in their goals. And they're going to persevere because of it. And while that's happening, people are beginning to realize that perhaps what was put out there was not true. And perhaps the source of the information was a person who was not well. And they felt they were telling the truth, but they themselves, their perception is perhaps impaired by alcohol or drugs or some other a mental illness, just a misperception or their own stuff, their own baggage, you know? So this is an omen of better health, happy relationships, which and notice how it aligns right under that four of wands energy of a happier home, happier, more stable situation. Maybe someone had to make amends, like in the 12-step program, and they were afraid, and it's resulted in something positive. I keep getting the energy of a perhaps an intervention, and we also just got a confirmation. Okay. Maybe because of stuff that was said about you, you were being investigated because we have here the King of Spades. Maybe because of the bad things that were said about you, you were actually being investigated, maybe by law enforcement or some kind of other agency. And it was looked into and found that the person who called in the complaint was not well, crazy, malicious, a drunk, an addict, mentally ill, perception was off and it wasn't true. And now, because of the result of that investigation, you're getting what was entitled to you. Maybe it was a claim, an actual claim, like maybe you were in, God forbid, a car accident or a legal matter, or maybe there were benefits due to you or something, and someone called in a fraud complaint, or you know what I mean? Some crazy Karen, right? Who believes that her perception of the world or his perception of the world is true, or there was a lot of gossip and smearing of you by very unwell people, and it was looked into, and now it's going to result in you getting what you were entitled to, what you work for, right? Perhaps even more. I want to take a look at this ace of clubs. Maybe you created something new or you were starting a new business and people maybe called in things on the business and it wasn't true. Hmm. Whatever it was, it did impact you financially as well. It says if it's near a club, the effect is more for our own mating making. So the people who tried to build a trap for you, it actually ended up helping you and advancing you higher because now whoever investigated you sees that you were being railroaded or bullied and they have a higher opinion of you because they see what people were trying to do. Same thing if it was a friend Now that you realize that that person was really low to do what they did and say what they said, and you're realizing you now have an even higher opinion of the person because they just move forward and continue to be them, and you realize that they were wrongly spoken ill of, and you have hold them in higher regard because of how they just gracefully went about their business anyway. You know, um, you're realizing how much dirt was being thrown on this person, and they didn't even know it, and it causes you to really feel bad about your part in it, and to hold that person in even higher regard than you would have held them otherwise. Um, that's to I guess this is a cross watch or reading. It says if it's next to a diamond, the affair is in society, artistic life, money, or responsibility to others. Okay, so with this eight of diamonds, remember I said it could just be social stuff in the community that has impacted you, also with your finances, stuff that has impacted you in your creative or artistic life, if it was a creative project, responsibility to others, if it was a dispute that had to do with kids or had to do with family. We see here family, you're just trying to make money and support your family. You want to have a happy, peaceful family life, and someone is running their mouth, some unwell person, uh, making it harder for you than it needs to be, right? And the truth has come out or is coming out and they're being exposed. And they're not necessarily evil people, they're unwell people. Like maybe they truly believe the horrible things they're saying about you are true. So they're not exactly lying, or maybe they're exaggerating, or maybe they're looking at what little thing you do and then exaggerating it so that it's like a half truth, but they're exaggerating it and putting a spin on it that is inaccurate, and it's that's being seen. And maybe you didn't even know that you were being investigated by law enforcement or some kind of higher authority. This King of Wands, and he holds the sword of truth, but that truth is double edged. That sword is double edged. So he doesn't just see the truth about the one person accused, he sees the truth about the accuser as well. And he's very stern. This clear cut facts. No emotion, just the facts. And the fact is that whatever the situation was, it wasn't as it was portrayed initially. And someone is realizing that, and their conscience is tapping at them. And you're going to have to make a decision whether to forgive, whether to bring that person back into your life, and in what capacity. They're going to have to make a decision whether they are ready to fess up and come to you. And then you're going to have to make a decision as to whether you can forgive them and what forgiveness looks like. Because forgiveness can look like, forget it, like it never happened. We start over, right? But forgiveness can also look like, I forgive you, but I'm going to love you from a distance because I don't want to come back to that toxicity. So that's a decision that has to be made. But and there might not be people who agree with whether you should let the person back in or whether you should keep the person at arm's length. There might be people who don't agree with whether you should ask forgiveness or whether you shouldn't. But you are adventurous, you're a risk taker. And it's saying that those risks that you're taking are going to result in blessings and expansion to you. Not only, it's an inside job. So what you have in your spirit, what you have in your heart, manifests, right? So if you have abundance in your heart, generosity in your heart, it's going to manifest. It's going to manifest in creative energy, and that creative energy can result in your coins, your benefits. You know what I'm saying? This is all the recent, very recent. It may be something that happened 2 minutes ago or yesterday or an hour ago. Might be happening right before you see this reading. You may not realize that this just happened. You may not realize that you are under investigation. You may not realize all the crazy things that were being said about you. You may know some of them. You may not know all of them. You may not know the reason why people started treating you so weird. And then you're going to find out, right? Okay, so then let's see. This is the present situation. I see again when I cut the deck that four wands, and then I see a three of diamonds, a restriction on funds. So maybe people were not investing in you or paying for stuff, or they were saying something about how you handle your money, that it was dishonest, or you were deliberately withholding it, or you were lying about your situation. Maybe, funding or financial assistance that you're entitled to is being held from you wrongfully because of some of the stuff being reported or wasn't true or looked into it. Some kind of block on your abundance, whether it's your creative abundance or your career advancement. Maybe that you were up for promotion or someone wanted to offer you a job or something and they didn't because of whatever was put out there and it was looked into and it's not true. We have the Eight of Spades. We have the Five of Clubs. There was fighting, there was arguing, maybe even behind the scenes. There might have been people defending you in rooms you were not in that you don't even know what was being said. We had the Eight of Spades again. They keep showing me the Eight of Spades. They showing me the six. Transition energy. Eights also represent people in cartomancy. So a eight of diamonds could represent maybe a page of diamonds in tarot. So a page of pentacles, right? Um, a page. We have the marriage card. Somebody loves you very much and has been holding the line for you. You don't even know. They're secretly holding a great deal of love. Maybe they want to be with you, but they're already committed to someone else. But they are protecting you and you don't even realize it. And that is the truth, the sort of truth. This is someone in a position whose word is means a lot to people has been speaking well of you in rooms that you're not standing in. And it's because they have a great deal of love for you, romantic love maybe, and they're not like gonna leave their situation. They're in a situation with somebody. This is what I'm getting, but they are also gonna protect you because they love you. Here's a five. There was a severing of a tie. There might have actually been medical. This all can represent a medical procedure, actual surgery. I don't know if the dispute with money had to do with the medical situation, medical benefits that may have been entitled to you that were withheld. Maybe someone accused you of some kind of Medicaid fraud or questioned the bill, or maybe they were supposed to pay support for some medical stuff, or maybe there was something. Maybe you're a doctor, maybe there was a malpractice, something having to do with medical, surgical, an actual surgical cutting, an actual severing, a hard severing of ties, but it also represents actual cutting. Five of Spades. I see the Jack of Diamonds, which is my card, the salesman, the hustler, the manifester. and I see the Queen of Hearts. I see the Eight of Clubs, and I see the Jack of Diamonds again. Hmm. Thing energies who want to come out. So let's see, what is the story in the present? We see a severing. Maybe you're cut off from speaking to this person, and they're trying to figure out a way to approach you. Or maybe you're the person who's cut off and you're trying to figure out a way to approach the person you harm. Oh, palayana sea. Here, and here he is. This is my card. I'm going to tell you more about these. It gets very detailed in Cartomancy. It goes all the way down into the person's possible date of birth and sun sign. Sometimes it goes into time, actual dates when things should be occurring. We have again another, the king. He's back again. He was over here and here he is again. King of Spades. That investigator, that stalker. Well, no, the Jack of Spades is usually the stalker. The investigator, that authority figure. Oh, oh, we have a bunch of people here. We have his partner, Queen of Spades. And then we have the Three of Diamonds. So these people were involved. There goes that Three of Diamonds in restricting your finances and restricting your abundance. There was a severing of from these people. Wait, there's a severing from a jack. Okay, we have a diamond in between two spades. Now, earth, with the element of earth, is anemic to air, right? So this has more influence. So there was someone who tried to cancel out or did cancel out or had a great deal of influence over this jack of diamonds. Okay? And it caused something to be cut off that resulted in or also had to do with their finances. Now we have the queen. The answer is also no. If you had a question about your present, no. The answer is no. If you had a yes no question about your present situation, the answer is no. And this seems to be about creativity, that maybe you're in a creative field, but the social stuff is so strong that it impacts your ability to do what you do. So it it impacted you financially as well as emotionally and socially. So we have this couple here who had influence over this Jack, this entrepreneur. There was a severing, there was a cutting off, and it resulted in a restriction on that person's finances. Remember that these swords, though, are double edged. Now, let me take a look at the energies. They're flanked by Earth. We're left with the Jack, who has a restriction on finances. Hmm. Let's see what the story is. I want to check this Jack. I know a lot about Jack of Diamonds because it happens to be my birth card. So the birth card. Now, the thing about the Jack of Diamonds is the Jack of Diamonds bounces back from what you toss them because they're a creative problem solver and a master manifester. Quick growth, golden child, always youthful, always exuberant, always optimistic, even in the face of adversity, always finding they're financially creative. They find a way to get by no matter what you toss at them. The birthdays for Jack of Diamonds. There's someone born on January 16th, someone born on Valentine's Day, February 14th, someone born on March 12th, someone born on April 10th, someone born on May 8th or June 6th, someone born on the 4th of July, and someone born on August 2nd, which is me. Okay. Sharp, clever, charming, independent, creative, intuitive. They operate on their instincts as much as they do on solid, investment stuff. They're adventurous, not afraid to take risks, think outside the box. They are often intuitives or psychics, have almost a psychic ability or strong hunches that allow them to make good business choices or decisions. They're survivors, can be immature, they can be crafty, they're very creative. If they make promises and they're having difficulty keeping it, there's no guile in it. They do mean well. They're very sociable. It's the salesperson. They're the type of person that has to have a career that gives them an outlet for creativity and recognition of their superior talents. The nation of the United States itself is a jack of spades because a jack of diamonds because it was born on July 4th. Okay. So that's a destiny card for this person. So it is your destiny to overcome these obstacles. It's how you were made. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. That's the I can do all things in Christ who strengthens me. Consider the lilies of the field, they neither toil nor sow, but Solomon in all his splendor cannot possibly be dressed in robes as beautiful as these. They often take leaps of faith. They see the bigger picture. Okay, so at the present, money is restricted. There's been a severing due to the influence of this king and queen of swords, Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. Something was said that led to an investigation, and it's about to be revealed that that wasn't true. So you're going to get through this probably. We haven't seen the future. But by all accounts, so far in this energy, you're not only going to get what is entitled to you, but you're probably going to expand upon it. Let's see what Spirit has to say. I cannot find my skull cards, and I am not happy about that. They have mysteriously disappeared. I don't like when cards just disappear. That makes me nuts. It happens. If you've grown up in a household full of spiritual stuff, objects disappear and reappear in strange places at times. We have again, we have three of spades. You have the two of clubs. There's the two of clubs again. The three of spades, third party energy. Hmm. A third party could be anything that has influence. It doesn't have to be a nine of diamonds. Okay, that's nice. That's good. A two of hearts. That's good. Oh boy. Suki suki now. They don't like me to popcorn and complaining. I hear 'em. And then I don't like it popcorn. You gotta shuffle. I do need to do better with my shuffling. I'm not a good shuffler. I'm just not. Oh, and by the way, this is Aries energy. So the person it might affect is a fire sign, possibly an Aries. And part of the abundance has to do with it ties in with your family life. Oh, we got another no. If you had a question about the future, the answer again is no. No is not always a bad answer. We have the three of diamonds. I'm sorry, the three of spades, air. We have the two of clubs, fire. We have the nine of diamonds, earth. We have the two of hearts, water. And then we have the eight of clubs, fire again. Now, fire and water cancel each other out. Air and fire strengthen each other. Okay, so these strengthen each other. So let's see what's up with this three of spades. And I will tell you more about those other people. There's been a change in plans that often results in emotional pain and a broken heart. A misunderstanding between lovers, a breakup, a severing, a change of plans. It could also mean a trap, someone trying to set you up. It could represent a divorce, a misunderstanding, someone abusing their position. Could mean a trip across water or leak. If someone starts speaking ill of you and run stuff about you in the last week of August, and that's where some of this energy came from. Yeah, an argument, a quarrel. Yeah, somebody warned you and you didn't listen, and it resulted in a betrayal or a heartache. So I was saying you had to make a decision whether you still want to work with somebody. Maybe you'll get a warning. You have to balance that adventurous spirit, misunderstandings at work or at home. Hmm. Let's see what's going on with this nine of diamonds, which is usually not that bad a card. I'm still learning, so I always like to double check. Financial success and independence. The nine of diamonds is also known as the curse of Scotland, but I don't think it applies here. Nine of diamonds often refers to a person too that you have a strong attraction to. Someone you have a strong attraction to who's in love with you, who wants to marry you, who wants to get with you, who wants to mess with you, who wants to be with you, is going to have a strong influence. Like I said, somebody loves you and is speaking well of you in rooms that you're not in and is very protective of you. That loving energy is wrapping itself around you like a warm blanket, like a cloak of protection. You don't even realize it. That's why some of the stuff being said about you, you don't even know about because you're being shielded from it so that you could focus on what you still need to do. So this person appears emotionally detached because it's coming off as a diamond energy, but they have love for you. They're staying detached from you. They don't want you to know that they help you behind the scenes. They're maybe attached to somebody else. They're holding back. Yes, a secret admirer, somebody who secretly admires you, is keeping it to themselves. They're staying detached. They're playing it cool. They're sending you good thoughts. They want to see you succeed. They also want something from you. They want love and attention, commitment from you. They want you to love them back. I don't know if that's this Jack, but I doubt it. Someone else who doesn't want their face seen, doesn't want their face seen. You may not even know how much they care for you and that they're behind the scenes trying to help you in certain situations. You may not even know. It might be someone who's married and they are doing their duty of staying, faithful to their partner, even though they have deep feelings for you. They're not going to come forward. They're going to keep that commitment, but they still, when they can, protect you, speak well of you. And then we have the last card here. We have water and fire. This cancels this out. And we're still left with this. So this cancels this out. You're left with a disagreement. This is very strong energy. We have fire and earth. This cancels this out. We're left with this person. This strengthens this. And then we bring in this Eight of Clubs. We have fire and water, which are anemic to each other. Yeah, we're left with this person speaking for you. Okay, let's see what the story is. I'd like to check my correspondences. Let's take a look at this Two of Hearts. I'm going to tell you more about that Nine of Diamonds. Here we go. I like to use Cardarian, but there's a lot of others. Okay. Favorable news. You'll be receiving favorable news. A yes in an open matter that you're waiting to hear about. A present, a visit, a meeting of service, a letter. Kisses being sent, or a small gift, a small kindness done that helps you. Maybe someone who stepped into that investigative energy and assisted you. You don't even know. You don't even know. Just like you don't know all the people who might be speaking ill of you, you don't know all the people who love and are standing up for you, deeply love you. It does work both ways. Okay, let's check this Eight of Clubs. Signifies hardship, difficulties, harmonizing your thinking, healing your communications, day to day activities, daily routines, how you usually spend your time, professional world, a job. Professional success will come to you despite the difficulties that you have had, which calls back to this. You're going to be rewarded for the hard work you put in and the hardship you've endured. The Eight of Clubs represents a casual relationship, like a friends with benefits, full of passion. It represents being somebody's mistress or side piece a lot of the time, or it represents somebody who you got together with, who you thought was just going to be like a one night thing or a fling or a short term thing, and they end up being more serious, and you end up having a lot of love for this person. Maybe that person is not telling you exactly how much they love you or how they might be pulling strings for you or how much they want to be with you because they're married, or something like that. They have a great deal of love for you and they're having a dilemma right here. It represents an amoret. It says if it's next to the heart, it's a That's like the whore with the heart of gold story. You know what I'm saying? Because she might not know, you know what I mean, that you are connected or married. She might not know you. A secret admirer, you're not really telling her. The person is not telling you. Yeah, you're gonna be very happy with the result. You're gonna have a little bit of hardship still for a little bit, but it's going to get better. It may get better all of a sudden out of nowhere, where you're expecting long-term hardship and you're just like, it is what it is, right? And it's almost like as soon as you accept that this is going to be hard, boom, the change comes in. Let's talk about this Nine of Diamonds birth card. Yeah, it's when you release your attachment and your stress over material things that the change comes to you. It has to also do with keep having a leap of faith. Nine of Diamonds, charity, giving. Because you've been giving, people are gonna give back. Um, the Nine of Diamonds, okay. Ugh, I just want to read you the traits and the birthdays, like I did for the Jack. Here we go. Okay, so the Nine of Diamonds, Nine of Spades, Nine of Diamonds. The Nine of Diamonds is someone born on January 18th, February 16th, March 14th. Got my little chart here, sorry. April 12th, that would be my son, that's a Aries. May 10th, June 8th, July 6th, August 4th, oops, September 2nd, yep, those are the dates. So either the person was born on one of those dates or help or something was presented on your behalf by somebody who loves you dearly on one of those dates. Secret admirer, secret help. So this is also a pentacle energy, so it might be someone who is a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. So possibly someone born May 10th or September 2nd. A whole bunch of shit went down on on Labor Day weekend, apparently. What do we want to know about this king and queen? So this king, I really don't think it matters, but we'll look them up. I'm getting the feeling that these are two different kings of swords. Now, these are usually Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. But let's take a look. King of Spades. Okay, so the birth card for the King of Spades, someone, whoever they are, they were born on January 1st, or the situation began on January 1st, or it will end. The bullshit will end on January 1st. It is the last most wise and powerful card in the deck. A high regard for wisdom, a love of learning, a willingness to do whatever it takes to achieve success and recognition. They're capable of managing large organizations, indecisive about love and close relationships, and forego marriage for the single life because they're more career oriented. Enterprising, ambitious, they're rarely lazy. They are not a lover of persuasion, just the facts, very dragnet. They don't usually sink down low to do slimy things. Um, they're often discontented, dissatisfied, a bit perfectionists. They're masters. They're very good judges of character. They don't always do well in relationships, especially with the opposite sex, and that includes in professional life, but they're not necessarily bad or evil people. So let's take a look at this. Born on 1st of January, or it's a situation that began or will end on the 1st of January. Okay. Hello, Donovan. Are you going to ask for that? Yeah, you can have it. Please go back up. I'm not done with my reading. We're going to eat soon. Okay. Queen of Spades, January 2nd. So between January 1st and January 2nd, something popped up, or it will end on or about that time. If you're going through a rough time, you're worried, maybe after the holidays, your stuff will be settled. Power and authority can often end up in menial positions where they constantly complain about their position and don't amount to much else if they haven't reached their divine potential. Self mastery. If they realize their gifts and take responsibility for their choices, they can rise to higher heights. Otherwise, they can be very, very, very toxic, caustic, hard driven. Okay. So they're either healers or they're totally crazy, toxic haters, queens of swords. They should not mix love and money because if they do, there's always trouble when legal matters come up. There's always problems. They spend too much money. They hate getting the short end of the stick in legal affairs, but they usually do. They do best when they realize their place in the royal family and access the inner wisdom that is their birthright. Okay, so she can be either a wonderful person, a healer, or a high priestess, or she can be a bitch on wheels, cantankerous and toxic. I'm getting cantankerous and toxic, and that there was a severing from that, and that it impacted you, restricted your finances, whoever this Jack is. but that because you are a master manifester and it is your destiny to do that, you overcame it or you are overcoming it, okay? And that the result is going to be very good. So remain optimistic, hang in there, try to stay focused on your goals, try not to be distracted or even worried. Know that just as there may be people speaking ill of you behind your back who you don't know, there's also people who dearly love you, who are sending you that protective energy. They may be pulling strings for you, you don't even know, or just speaking well of you and giving the other side of the story to balance out that other messaging, those lies, okay? And this is your future. It's going to work out. It's going to work out, okay? So, for those of you who were hoping for a better family life, and that family life being tied maybe to your finances or your creativity or all of this stuff, is coming. Hang in there. All situations have ups and downs. It's about balance, and no one's guaranteed an easy life. Everybody has, no matter how rich or how poor or whatever, we all have our lessons and our hardships that are very real to us that we have to overcome. And that's what this is about, learning and overcoming all of those. So that's the message I'm getting. And I thank you, Father God. I'm gonna ask for one more card. I'm gonna take from the tarot, go foil tarot. Is there any specific advice? This is a very good reading. This is about overcoming. It's very nice. I'm digging it. Um, just some in a popcorn because I don't have room to shuffle right now. Um, so tell me, any advice, Spirit? Any further advice? I do see recovery issues. Maybe there was an intervention and you're wondering how much to forgive this person, whether to let them back in. That's not an answer I could give you. We don't tell you what to do. Again, you have free agency. I'm receiving two. I'm receiving Queen of Wands, Leo energy, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. And seeing the Seven of Pentacles was going to be sit back and take an assessment. Someone sitting back and taking stock of what they've done so far and where they wish to go next, especially financially. Try to make better, uh, take better stock of what pitfalls might come before you financially. Try to make better, take better stock of that situation before moving forward. But know that you're still sitting in this world. You're still a queen or royalty. Um, this is a feminine energy, not necessarily a female person, but this standing in your power. You're hot. Folks want you. We got folks feeling scorned, acting a fool, dudes falling in love with a sister. She's the only one that has a black cat as a familiar. She might be a light worker, a white witch. So you might receive guidance from somebody, some kind of quality assurance or uh, looking, help you better financially plan. Maybe you're being told to get an advisor. Okay? All right. Remember who you are, that you are royalty. You're a son or daughter of the Most High, the King of this cosmos. Carry yourself with that understanding. All right. That's it. Thank you very much for listening. I hope that was helpful to someone. I'm still getting that message as someone in recovery. Um, I wish you well in your recovery. I truly do. It's not easy. Once you have a pendency on something, anything to break free of that dependency, but it is not impossible. So hang in there. If you make a mistake, learn from it and try again. Not every program is for everybody. Don't be afraid to explore other possible ways of staying safe and healthy and dealing with that imbalance. And I wish you well with that. I wish your family well. You're going to have that peace, that peaceful home, and that joyous home that you wanted. It's coming. Okay. And there might be people try to disrupt it, and then you'll just have to do what you have to do to restore it. You know what I mean? But you'll be all right. You have put in the work, and that wasn't for nothing. It wasn't for nothing. And your heart is pure, you know? So if you're coming from a pure hearted and honest place, even when there's setbacks, it will work out, it will be settled in a fair way. You have to trust that the universe is with you, right? Systems, man made systems, may not be with you, but the universe is with you. I saw no devil or toxic energy in this whole thing. I saw energy of someone who maybe their perception was impaired, or their behavior was off, or their lips were loose because of alcohol or mental illness. I didn't see any, um, and I saw some busybodies who were a bit malicious, but I didn't see any straight up devil, you know, energy that was so bad that this couldn't be rectified. That's a good sign. It's all everybody and their baggage, having to deal with their baggage, essentially. It's life stuff, basics. So I'm gonna go sage up my cards, put them back in their proper order, put them away, and I'm gonna wish you a very good 10-10. 10-10 has passed, but the moon energy still lingers. Do a cleansing, maybe wash in some salts, order up your space, burn some sage or some incense, put on some music or some sounds at a vibration frequency that's healing for you. Relax, take time out to be good to yourself until the change hits, because it's gonna hit. All right? Bright blessings. I'm gonna close this out off camera because you should close what you open. A lot of people forget that.